Right, so right now I'm in a place called Hin Lek 5 Viewpoint, which is in Hue Hin in Thailand. I was just coming for a little walk and something just dawned on me when I noticed just, number one, how few foreign tourists there are here, how few Westerners. I mean, there's literally no one here right now. Whereas if you came here in like January, there'd be a lot of people here in the evening. Yeah, something dawned on me and I thought I'd make a quick video and just talk about it. And that's basically when you should or when you shouldn't travel to Thailand and other places in Asia because of, you know, the seasons, the weather, like the dry season, the rainy season. So right now it's July, it's the middle of July, so it's the rainy season, you know. This is the time when no one comes here. But you can probably see behind me, it's, you know, it's not raining. And it hasn't done for a couple of days. There was some, actually yesterday there was like 15 minutes of rain in the afternoon. I think the day before that there was maybe a little bit at night. But very little, you know. It's, and for this time of year, that's normal here. And I think so many people that haven't been here, and certainly who haven't been in the rainy season, they think of the rainy season as just being like constant downpours or something, like the kind of rain we'd get in England, or say if you're in the northeast of America, that kind of thing. You know, when you get rain, you get proper rain, it just keeps on raining. Here, you don't really get that. It tends to be like this, say 90% of the time. And then when it does rain, it'll rain for 15 minutes, half an hour, maybe an hour if you're unlucky. And then after that, it's fine. So yeah, I just thought I'd make the point that most of the time you're fine, and I'll show you why it's hard to kind of make yourself come at this time of year. And that is, if we look on a weather forecast. So right now for today, I don't know if that will show up, but for today it actually says thunderstorms, like thunder showers. You've got like the cloud with the lightning bolt coming out of it. That's for today. Now today there's not been any rain. I think yesterday it said like rain, heavy rain, and it was heavy rain for like 15 minutes at 3 o'clock. But the rest of the day it was like this. It really was fine. So yeah, it's a bit misleading when you look on weather forecasts. And I would just sort of urge people to think, you know, if you want to come when it's a bit quieter to places like Thailand, maybe like Malaysia, Philippines, anywhere like that, you know, in Southeast Asia, where you do get a rainy season and a dry season, I would say consider the rainy season. It's a good time to come. And the other advantage, which you may or may not be able to see behind me, if you've never been, you wouldn't realize this, but right now the air quality is very good. Something we don't really think about too much in most parts of the West, but in this part of the world, you get a burning season. So they burn, I think it's the stubble from the sugarcane, maybe corn or something. They burn the fields. It allows them to, once they burn it, I think it fertilizes the field for the following year. So they're able to plant. It's like a cheaper way of doing it rather than having machinery to sort of churn everything up. So yeah, that happens. And when they do that, you get a massive blanket of smoke, like smog. It covers most of Southeast Asia pretty much. And this year in February, I'll try and put some footage on if I've got some. I'm sure I must have some video somewhere. This year in Hue Hin, I was here in February, and honestly, it was awful. Like the air quality was absolutely terrible. So from here, you couldn't even see the horizon. So right now, you've got a really clear horizon. And yeah, it was just like brown. You look out to sea, and you could just about make out where the sea was, and then it was just like brown, like a brown, like smog. It was awful. And yeah, so right now it's completely different, and you could feel it as well. I wouldn't say I'm sensitive to that kind of thing, but you could feel it. So I'll keep walking. We'll be able to see the viewpoint on the other side, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So yeah, you should be able to see behind me, the air quality is pretty good. The view is really nice here. You can see at the end of the beach, I think, can't work out where to point, but you'll see a hill at the end of the beach. That's about 8 kilometers from here, and it's clear to see. I don't know if it comes up on the camera, but it is clear to see. So yeah, the visibility is really good. You can see for miles. In the other direction behind me, there's some hills in the distance. They look a bit hazy, but they really are a long way away, so that's just normal. So yeah, the air quality is brilliant. I'm going to try and put some footage on of earlier on in the year, in February. You'd be amazed at the difference. Like, you couldn't even see the sea, let alone the horizon. So yeah, huge difference. So if you were thinking of coming and you weren't sure what time of year, I would say definitely don't write off the rainy season just because it's called the rainy season. I can see why people do. You hear about monsoons, or you'll see something about flooding in Bangkok on the news, that kind of thing, and that tends to happen in like October, November, when they've had months of these heavy downpours most days. And like I say, they do happen regularly. So when you look on the forecast, it will just say rain every day, but in reality it is just like 20 minutes, 30 minutes over the course of time it will build up, and that's where you get the floods, because when it does come down, it really does come down, you know, it's crazy. But most of the time there's nothing. I've been here right now for I think 12 days, 10 days, and I think I've seen rain in the daytime I think 3 times, and each time it was just a really heavy downpour for, you know, not very long. So the rest of the time it's been like this. It's been absolutely perfect. It might rain at night a few times, but obviously it didn't affect me at all. So yeah, I would say just consider the rainy season. Maybe if you want to get accurate information, go on like Facebook groups, ask people, talk to people who maybe live here or have been here in the rainy season plenty of times, and you'll get a better idea of what you can and can't do. So obviously, depending on what you're planning on doing, the rainy season could be a good option. You'll get cheap hotels, definitely get better air quality, and everywhere's quieter. So if you don't want it to be too crowded, then it's definitely a good time to come. I'd just say consider it, don't rule it out. And not just in Thailand, but obviously anywhere in Southeast Asia where you have this sort of monsoon season, rainy season, and then your dry season. So yeah, it's worth the consideration. So if you think it looks nice here, I would say it is. This is a place called Hoi Hin Viewpoint. I'm sure it comes up if you type that into Google. And locally it's actually called Hin Lek Phai Viewpoint. So yeah, I would say get yourself up here. If you're in Hoi Hin, it's literally in the town where you can tell from the view. So it's really easy to get to. It's just a little walk, a few different viewpoints, and then there's a load of monkeys when you come in. So just be careful about the monkeys though, because if you make eye contact with them, there is a chance that they'll attack you. If you've got food, you'll be getting it robbed. So just finish your food before you walk past them. Luckily, the monkeys tend not to venture beyond where the car park is. There's like a gate and they tend to stop on this side, so you're usually okay. But yeah, so yeah, beware of the monkeys, but come up and have a look at Hoi Hin Viewpoint. Anyway, I hope that's helpful for someone. If it was, click like, leave a comment, tell me maybe you've been flooded out and it goes against everything that I've just said now. So yeah, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.